So we got to take first a look back at these were our power rankings the previous week. I always want to do this for context of where I think teams are sitting versus where I think teams are going. So we see those teams in the get lost category, get out, get good. And remember, get lost is just I think you're just drawing dead. You're looking at the draft. Get out. Again, I just don't think you're a playoff team. Get good. I think you have a chance to be a playoff team. Great. I think you have a chance to win playoff games. Get excellent is basically, I think you have a chance to win the Super Bowl. This is my Colin Cowherd to call it a Super Bowl bubble. So get good, get great, get out. This is where everybody was previous week. With that being said, the new who was in Get Lost? Well, of course, Browns, Dolphins, Saints, Titans, Bengals, and Panthers. Now, some of these teams are in here for different reasons. The Browns, that defense is amazing. Myles Garrett is entering into the all-time pantheon of NFL receivers and NFL defenders. He's amazing. This defense is really fucking good. They're starting Dillon Gabriel. I don't have a lot of hope for Dillon Gabriel. Joe Flacco, though, he probably will be better than Joe Flacco, who is objectively the worst quarterback in the NFL, despite what PFF tried to tell you about Bo Nix. The Dolphins, I know they got to win, but it was against the Jets. Weirdly, and I know the Jets, people are probably like, well, the Jets should be in get lost. They lost the game. Losing Tyreek Hill for the season, I think, is actually a bigger loss than the Jets losing that game. So I think they walked out of the game, even though Miami got the win, Jets got the loss. I actually feel better. I don't feel good about either of them, but I feel better about the Jets than I do the Dolphins going forward. The Saints, they're 0-4, man. This is just probably the worst roster in the NFL. They just don't have enough talent. Spencer Rattler's 0-11 now as a starting quarterback. Like, what do you want? The Titans, I love Cam Ward. I love the honesty. I love his play. I think that there's a lot of things he's doing extremely, extremely well. But, look, you're 0-4, you're 0-4. Like he said, we're ass right now. Agreed. Bengals, this is a Jake Browning story. Look, Jake Browning is, as Tony said yesterday, count your days, man. Jake Browning's not good. What do you want? The Bengals are better than this, but Joe Burrow out for the season. I know there's some Bengals fans holding on to hope that he's going to come back towards the end of the season. You're not going to be able to float. Like, this is not without Joe. This team is dominated by 4 players, and when one of those 4 players and your most impactful player being your quarterback is out, it's tough. Panthers, look, man, this is a bad trade. This is a bad look. You trade all those picks, you get Bryce Young number 1 overall, and just a few years later, it looks like you are going to be heading back to the NFL draft to look for a quarterback. I was excited for Bryce, what he could do at the end of the year, but I think this defense has potential. Tet already looks like a good receiver. It looks like a future number 1, but I just can't get behind Bryce Young anymore. I don't have it in me. Get out. Falcons, Raiders. Now, again, some of these teams are in here for different reasons. Look, these are teams that I just believe are not going to be able to make the playoffs. The Falcons, I have no trust in. You lose 30-0 to the Panthers. You should probably be in get lost, but I like Michael Penix. I like the offensive personnel here. That's all I got for you. The Raiders, shout out to self-sabotage by the Raiders. Ashton Jeanty has his first breakout game, and it's because he goes to the Michael Myers stance, which Chip Kelly was like, no, don't do that, which feels like a control issue for Chip. But Ashton had a really good game. I still don't believe in this O-line who can't block for anybody. Geno's throwing the ball a lot, and to anybody who will catch it, whether that's his teammates or not. The Cowboys, I just don't think with that defense, and if CeeDee Lamb is going to miss any amount of time, was that a very impressive tie? Yes, but I think that was the apex of the Cowboys, which is tying with a really good team. I don't think they're a playoff team. The Jets are probably one more bad loss away from going to get lost. Look, again, I said I feel slightly better about the Dolphins because the loss of Tyreek Hill versus the loss of the game. Still got a bunch of issues here. The Cardinals are not terrible, which is why I don't think they belong in get lost, because I do believe if the Cardinals had to play any team in that get lost category, they win. I just don't think they fare very well against the other 25 teams in the NFL. The Patriots, this is my hardest one. I don't think the Patriots are a playoff team. And I've tried really hard to think to myself, like, hey, how do they do it? And I know they are a popular playoff pick. Tony had them in the playoffs, but I'm not there yet. I will say, though, for a team that has a chance to move up, like guaranteed wins and moves up, because none of these teams are guaranteed to move up if they win next week. The Patriots are guaranteed to win if they move up. Sorry, are guaranteed to move up if they win. If they beat the Bills on Sunday Night Football, absolutely, they go to get good. The New York Giants should have been in get lost and they were going to be in get lost, and then they put Jackson Dart in the game. And I don't, and I'm not taking a ton from that Chargers win and not saying that he played amazing or, they changed the direction of the franchise, or they didn't change the direction of the franchise for this season, but they unequivocally changed the direction of the franchise going forward. I said this on Monday, Jackson Dart playing, Russ could have had probably the same stat line, maybe a little bit better, but it feels different when it's your first round rookie quarterback who feels new, refreshing, potential, hype versus your 30-plus-year-old, at this point, journeyman quarterback in Russell Wilson. So I think the optimism keeps the Giants in get out. Get good. Look, man, the 49ers are actually a good football team. They're just way too injured right now. They probably are going to lose tonight to the Rams. That's fine. I get it. But this is still a really quality football team if they weren't suffering every injury under the sun. Some of that potentially their own fault. We'll see. The Indianapolis Colts, who it's just going to take me a while to get really convinced this team is the one. It's tough, man. It's just tough. I'm not there yet with Daniel Jones, but give me a few more weeks. They can have a chance to move and to get great. The Chargers, this is totally injury related. If the Chargers weren't missing 3 of their 5 starting offensive linemen, then yes, they would be in the next tier up. The Pittsburgh Steelers, this is 8-1 written all over it. I know they're 3-1 right now. I don't believe in their 3-1 record. I'm sorry. I know Mike Tomlin is just going to get to 500 again or slightly above because that's just what he does. Cool. I can't put them any higher than this. The Ravens, for that same regard of like, the Steelers are 3-1. I don't believe them. The Ravens are 1-3. I still believe in them. Now, Lamar has to come back. If he misses extensive time, now it's 2 to 3 weeks. I am even holding out hope, and maybe this is being overly optimistic. I won't give up on the Ravens until they're 1-6. So they could be 1-5 if Lamar misses the next 2 games, and they lose both of those. Then they have a bye week, and they come back and play the Bears. If they win that game, they have a chance. They lose that game, then we got to kick them out. The Texans, this is, again, just inherent belief in C.J. Stroud and DeMeco Ryans, even though they haven't given me a whole lot to love or be comfortable about this year. 1-3, but again, I just naturally believe in them more than I believe in the Jaguars or the Colts. Obviously, all 3 AFC South teams are in this get good tier, and the Titans are in down and get lost. The Bears, this is going to be make or break, which is weird because they're on a bye. This is going to be a make or break bye week. Really good coaches take advantage of the bye, whether it's early, late, in the middle of the season. As a fan, I don't love early bye weeks, but if you're a really good to great coach, you take advantage of them. And I want to see what they look like post bye week. They have a chance to move up. Again, I thought this was a playoff team. I like Chicago. Seattle, pleasantly surprised. I'm going to be on the not the last to give Sam Darnold credit, because I do think Sam is he's good. I think he's good. I think Seattle is just good. I don't know if I'm ready to call them great yet. I want to see them in a few more games before I'm willing to say they are a great team. But they're very good. Like, they are the epitome of good. And the Jaguars, I got to give some credit, even though, funny enough, the Jaguars are winning in spite of Trevor Lawrence. Like, Trevor's been meh all season, but the running game's been really good. The defense, my concern here is that the Jaguars defense, which has 13 takeaways already, which is more than they had all of last season, I think that's super high variance, and I don't know if that is sustainable. Like, I don't think they're going to force 60, almost 65 turnovers. Or no, sorry, what'd that be? Through 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 math. I don't think they're going to force 50 plus turnovers. Okay. That seems unrealistic. So that I want to see when their defense has to actually, and I think it's going to be a great test because I think they can win that game against Kansas City, and that's going to be a great test. Again, some games are guaranteed. If the Jaguars win that game, I will move them up and I will have them as my convincingly best team in the AFC South. Because the Colts play the Raiders this week, I'm not going to be overly impressed if the Colts win, and the Texans they'll be 2-3, and if they win. If the Jags win Monday night, I will absolutely unequivocally move them up. The great tier, get great. I still believe in the Vikings, even though it's a Carson Wentz-led football team. I think this roster and Kevin O'Connell are too good to not be in this status. The Rams, this is my Super Bowl pick for the NFC. Stafford, I believe, is a top 5 quarterback. I just truly believe it, even if Tony will make fun of me. The Bucs are interesting because the Bucs probably haven't played as well. Like, they haven't played to the level that I think they are. And maybe that just means I'm wrong. Like, maybe I'm just going to look back on this and go, oh, I just overrated the Bucs. I don't think so, but there's a chance. So the Bucs, really good team. Again, we having all kinds of technicals this morning. They've had to win a couple games, last minute game-winning drives, but again, they've also suffered cluster injuries, which is why, like, no Tristan Wirfs, Mike Evans is out now. They just got Chris Godwin back. Like, there's a bunch of injuries teams had to suffer, and I think the fact they're still here shows that once they're healthy, this is going to be one of the best teams in the NFC. The Commanders, I believe. Now, Jaden Daniels has to come back and look like Jaden Daniels, because out of the Bears bye, we talked about them, these two teams play each other. And this is where I need to see, hey, who's the best quarterback from this class? Caleb has started to put himself back in the conversation because he's played well these last couple of weeks. And because it's a week-to-week culture, no one's truly broken away. Even though Jaden and Bo have had the most success by far, no one is so drastically put away that if Jaden Daniels were to play poorly and lose that game to Chicago, the conversation of best quarterback from that class gets reopened, especially if you look at the way Drake May play. Like, think about it. You could have a situation here in 2 weeks where if Caleb beats Jaden and knocks Jaden from that what has been untouchable class, because he's been the clear best quarterback from that class, Bo gets a win against the Eagles, and Drake May gets a win against the Bills, we're going to be looking at this quarterback class a whole lot differently. That's probably how we're going to start tomorrow off, by the way. The Broncos and Chiefs, again, I think these are the two best teams in the AFC West. No disrespect to the Chargers when they got off to that incredible start. The Chargers are only not in the get great category because of injuries. Obviously, Slater for the year. Joe Alt's going to be gone for a couple of weeks, and we'll see how he plays when he comes back. The Chiefs, you got to give them the legacy respect. I flat out think the Broncos are better right now. Defensively, offensive line, again, they lead the NFL in sacks. They get sacked the least. Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins. Like, they got a bunch of guys. A team that offensive personnel was considered a weakness, you are now seeing with Sean Payton, the coaching, the play calling, the style. More and more guys are getting involved. More and more guys are making an impact. And the Packers, I just have to knock you down from excellent because you tied to the Dallas Cowboys. Look, I don't think the Cowboys are that good. Obviously, they're down there and get out. You can't be one of the absolute best teams in the NFL if you're tying the Dallas Cowboys. Like, the same way I said, the Rams, if they don't win tonight, will get knocked down to just get good. Like, I will lose so much confidence in the Rams. And then finally, in my opinion, clear best teams in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions, and the Buffalo Bills. These are, in the Eagles and Lions, probably pound for pound the best rosters in the NFL. And the Bills have, in my opinion, right now, the best player as currently playing. Mahomes is the quarterback of the generation. Mahomes is he deserves to be number one on pretty much every list because of what he has already accomplished. But if we are saying right now, who wins right now, you got to go with the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. These teams will play in the regular season. The Bills always beat the Chiefs in the regular season. I think Josh has a real chance to get back-to-back league MVPs. And I said this earlier in the week, don't let it happen, Buffalo. You should get the 1 seed. 1,000%. The schedule is set up. You're a great team. You have the easiest schedule. You should be the 1 seed. Do not let the Chiefs walk in on the final game of your stadium in the AFC Championship and rip your hearts out again to go to 4 straight Super Bowls, which is your one distinction that you have. Please, please, please don't do that. I can't handle it, and I'm not even a Bills fan. So these are, in my opinion, 3 best teams. Again, talked about it a little bit. The teams that are guaranteed to move up if they win. The Broncos if they beat the Eagles. The Patriots if they beat the Bills. And the Jaguars if they beat the Chiefs. Guaranteed move up. Without question. The teams that are guaranteed to move down if they lose. If the Rams lose tonight to the 49ers. Oh, I'm sorry. The Chargers also. If the Chargers get a win against the Commanders this week, they're guaranteed to move up, even with the injuries. The Chargers absolutely get to go up if they beat the Commanders. I think it might just be the Rams if they lose. The Eagles I wouldn't knock down. I would elevate Denver for beating them. The Eagles I would only knock down is if we get in a 24-hour span, lose to Denver, A.J. Brown request trade. That's probably the only way I would move the Eagles down. But this is get good, get great, get out. Week 5 of the NFL season. Well, post week 4. I mean, if you want to be a part of one of the coolest and most unique communities, don't forget to like and subscribe.